Chairman Paul Tambaya, members of the Central Executive Committee, and my fellow Singapore Democrats. Now, the Secretary General has many tasks, of which one of the most important is to report the state of the party at its biennial Ordinary Party Conference. At this 19th OPC, as with previous conferences, I have the pleasure of reporting that our party continues its upward trajectory in terms of membership, public following, and activities. First, our membership. Now, we have seen of late a significant rise in new entrants into the rank and file of the party. It is particularly encouraging that among these new members are a growing group of younger Singaporeans. Now, this is an important development, as it is this generation which the country needs to invest in. A generation which will inherit a fast-changing society and therefore needs to be equipped with the leadership skills that will enable them to take Singapore confidently into the future. We need leaders who have not drunk the authoritarian Kool-Aid and immersed in one-party groupthink, but who are instead committed to fostering a national culture that is at once diverse, questioning, compassionate, innovative, and democratic. Now, to this end, the SDP must be a breeding as well as training grounds for such young leaders. We must provide the opportunity for the younger generation to rise and eventually assume leadership roles within the party as well as the country. And for their part, I am encouraged that the young Democrats have contributed in ways big and small to advancing the cause with their time and energy, and equally important, their enthusiasm. They have assimilated well with party stalwarts and seniors as we work towards our goal of getting back into Parliament and turning that building on One Parliament Place into a truly people's house. Now, the SDP's growth in recent years is also evident in terms of the rising support we have gained from the public. First, the rise in vote percentage in recent elections gives us cause to be optimistic. Now, another indication of growing support comes from the increase in the number of people following our social media platforms and from feedback from our fellow citizens. The increasing confidence in our party stems in no small measure to the quality and quantity of our activities. In this regard, I am pleased to announce that we have achieved all that we planned for this year in anticipation of the general elections, and then some. Now, from our campaign kickoff in February this year, to the series of policy launches, to the rollout of our revamped website, to the launch of our manifesto, to the most recently held Shake It Up pre-election rally at Hong Lim Park, we have delivered as promised. And more importantly, these events were conducted professionally, and the results speak for themselves. This is one of the most important aspects of the SDP's work. In whatever we do it right, and we do it with earnestness. The output is made even more notable when we consider that all these were done without state funds. Every cent we spent, we painstakingly worked and raised. They were also achieved despite huge obstacles that were put in our way. This is the hallmark of a competent party. Now, these events took place in the midst of our ongoing ground campaign comprising walkabouts and house visits, where we continue to spread our message, calling on Singaporeans to reject the planned increase of the GST hike to 9%, the practice of bringing in foreign PMETs at the expense of local employment, and the continued withholding of our CPF savings for our retirees. This months-long campaign has undoubtedly elevated our standing, and together with the determined build-up of our party through the years, has enabled us to play a more meaningful role in our country's politics. Now, having said that, let me add then that we do not see and will never assume such a position as an entitlement. It is a privilege which we have worked hard to earn, and one that we recognize we will lose if we take the people's support for granted. We must not ease up on the diligence and dedication to earning trust and respect from our fellow citizens. Now, as you may recall what I've said recently, trust is not what you say, it's what you do. And to have achieved this and to aspire to do more, we need committed leadership. In this regard, this party has been fortunate to have a set of dedicated leaders with a fierce commitment to the values and philosophy of the SDP. Now take a close look at the members of the CEC before you tonight. Not a single one of them has migrated from another political party. And this is not because we deliberately adopted a policy to exclude others. The situation developed quite organically, quite naturally, because they are members who believed in what the party stood for, even before it was in vogue. They believed in our values of people before profit, rights before riches, and wisdom before wealth. All these when few Singaporeans had even heard of these values. Now, through the years, when things got rough, they stood firm. They dug in their heels, and they worked doggedly to persuade the people of the SDP way, even when it was not popular to do so. In other words, they believed in something, and that something was not just about getting into Parliament. They did not treat this party merely as a convenient vehicle upon which to hitch their political ride. It is the commitment to SDP's values and principles that has led us to the stage. It is, of course, unnecessary for me to say that leadership in the SDP is earned, not bestowed. From Chairman Tambaya to me to everyone on this table, each and everyone has had to earn our stripes. But in case it's still not clear, let me say plainly, it is not the title behind one's name that enables us to lead. It is moral leadership. Think about it. What was Mahatma Gandhi's office? What was Martin Luther King Jr.'s rank? What was Nelson Mandela's title before he became president? Moral leadership is not just showing the way, but going the way. You cannot just jump in front of everybody and yell, "I'm your leader, now follow me." It is walking the talk that has enabled the SDP to progress. In a like manner, I have one piece of advice to our friends and supporters who want to play an active role in the political arena. Believe in something. Stand for something. Looking for the easiest way to get into Parliament is a hollow and ultimately profitless endeavor. Such self-serving opportunism is not good for you, the party, and most important, the country. But if you subscribe, genuinely subscribe to what the SDP believes in and stands for, then we welcome you with open arms, no matter what stage of the political journey you're at. You will go far, as the SDP will go far. You will succeed, but not because of your individual talent, but because of the collective grit, the Pa Si Bui Zhao spirit of all in this party. As we find ourselves on the eve of a general election, may these values abide in us all, and may they spur us to work even harder, to reach even greater heights for and on behalf of our fellow Singaporeans and our beloved nation. Thank you.